everyone, welcome back to Let's Talk. My name is John, and today here on the channel we're going to be talking about the new film from Netflix, They Cloned Tyrone. This one was directed by Juel Taylor in his directorial debut, and it was co-written with him and Tony Retnamer, who I'm hoping I'm pronouncing your last name correct. And this film stars John Boyega, Jamie Foxx, who's also a producer on this film, and Teyonah Parris. And if you couldn't check out Oppenheimer or Barbie in theaters this weekend, this one is just right there waiting for you on Netflix, and it's actually a really good film. This one is a sci-fi, horror, comedy, mystery film. It's also a satire on our culture. It's really a very topical story as well. It takes place in the Glen, which basically is just any city USA or any ghetto USA essentially. So the production design of this city, everything looks like it either came from the 1970s or 80s or even TVs from the 1990s. So it really could be any place or any time, and I absolutely love that choice because that's essentially ties right into the story of this movie. And the plot of this movie follows around John Boyega's character of Fontaine, who is a local drug dealer, and one day he's going to pick up money from a pimp called Slim Charles, who's played by Jamie Foxx, who happens to be there that night in a hotel room with a lady of the night, Yo-Yo, played by Teyonah Parris, who does a great job in this movie. I didn't even know she had this gear. This is really playing against her Marvel stereotype that she's played over the last few years, and it was really nice to see her in this movie. I thought that she actually had one of the standout performances in this movie. Not that any performance in this film is bad, but her performance really did stand out to me. I loved her work in here. She really blended into her role. You know, Jamie Foxx as Slim Charles, you know, he's a pimp in this movie, but you always know that that is Jamie Foxx. Jamie Foxx has done comedy in the past, but he is really funny in this movie. He had some of my biggest laughs. I really felt like you needed him if you wanted to push that comedy route, and he works perfectly in his role. Not that John Boyega, our lead in this movie, does a bad job, because he is really our through line through everything, bringing the dramatic punch. It's really his story that we are seeing from beginning to end. And like I said, he's going to pick up some money from Slim Charles because he is a drug dealer and Slim Charles owes him some money. So he goes in there. They get in a little bit of an argument. He gets some of his money. He goes outside, by the way, in this beautifully lit motel. I love the pink neon with the fog rolling in. One of the best shots I've seen in a while. I absolutely love the shot of that in this film. And you only see it for a little while, but my jaw hit the floor. I thought that just looked absolutely gorgeous. But while he's sitting there waiting, all of a sudden another car pulls up and shoots and, as we think, kills him. But he comes to life the next day. He doesn't even realize. He thinks he just had a bad dream, and he goes about his day. We see that he has the same routine every single day. He goes to a store, gets a 40, plays some scratch-off lottery tickets, hoping to hit it big, gives some of his 40 to a homeless guy sitting outside. You can see that he's haunted still by the death of his younger brother. He doesn't have a great relationship with his mother, so he just doesn't have a great life. He's doing the best he can, but he's not living a great life. Then he goes back to Slim Charles to get his money again, and Slim Charles freaks the fuck out because he doesn't understand how this guy's here again. He's like, I saw you get killed last night. And John Boyega's just all thrown off by this. He doesn't understand. Well, nah, I'm not dead. And then they go to Yo-Yo, and she tells him that, yeah, no, we saw you die. Something's up here. Something's wrong. You're dead. And from that point on, we're trying to figure out what the hell is going on. Is he a clone? Is he trapped in a Groundhog Day situation where every day is the same for him? And that's really what the plot of this movie is. These three, they become their own little team, and they're going to figure out what the hell is going on. And the main antagonist in this film is played by Kiefer Sutherland. And I always forget that Kiefer Sutherland has this gear. He can play that over-the-top, chewing scenery villain, and he does it to perfection in this movie, because this movie is a satire and it's a comedy at its heart, and Kiefer Sutherland knew exactly what type of movie he was in. He doesn't play this like his 24 character. He plays it more like, kind of like in The Lost Boys, where he's had a lot of energy he's bringing to it, and I always just forget that he could do this, and he does a great job with that in this movie. Like I said, every performance in this movie is great. The story itself, it's very topical for today's society, and I really did appreciate the message of this movie. It does feel very Get Out-ish. You can definitely tell that this is a movie that was inspired by screenplays like Get Out and another Jordan Peele film, Us. You could tell that has the inspiration all over this movie, even right down to what the subject that it's talking about is and the message in this movie. But it's also influenced heavily by movies like the blaxploitation film. Look at what Jamie Foxx and Teyonah Parris are wearing in this movie. You could see that they're influenced by the blaxploitation movie. And then this movie has influences from many other sci-fi films, like the movie Moon, or even A Clockwork Orange, which they actually bring up directly in this movie. So this movie is definitely wearing its inspirations on its sleeve, and and it really makes like a mashup of a bunch of great films to make a great satire, one that I really did appreciate, that moves along at a great pace. Is it a perfect film? No, it's not a perfect film. The screenplay definitely has some holes in there if you want to poke some holes in there, and the cinematography feels very Netflixy. You know, it's got those overexposed lights in the background, kind of like what a lot of movies that go straight to Netflix look like. So, you know, Netflix definitely has their own style that they want their films to look like, and in ways I think that really does hurt the movie in certain aspects, makes it feel too much like an episode of Black Mirror or just a TV movie, not one that would go to theaters. Even though this did have a very small run in theaters for about a week, it doesn't feel like a movie theater movie. It does kind of feel like a Netflix film, which I think does kind of hurt it. But you can tell that this is not a movie that had the world's biggest budget, but it made great use of it. Everybody looks great. The production design of this movie is something that is almost flawless to me. That really does do a good job of covering up the cinematography, is that I just absolutely appreciated the production design. Every little detail that went into each of these sets just looks great. So even if the cinematography isn't great, the production design I think does a good enough job to overwhelm that, to make it actually stand out. And the costume design is all great as well. And again, some great performances, a great story that is very topical today, a really good plot, something that you're not going to lose interest with, and you're going to have some great laughs. So this is a really good film, one that I really did enjoy. And again, you can just go right to your TV and watch this on Netflix right now. You don't have to spend any of your money just on your Netflix subscription just to enjoy this movie. And I really do think that you're going to. And if I was going to give this film a score of 1 to 10, I would give this movie a really solid 8 out of 10. But anyway, guys, it's also Monday, and that means it's time for us to spin that wheel and see who wins our digital code giveaway. And if you're new to the digital code giveaway, we do this every single week. On Friday's video, I ask you guys 2 digital code giveaway questions. This week, I asked you what your favorite Robert Downey Jr. movie was and what your favorite historical epic film was in honor of Oppenheimer coming out. And all you had to do was answer one of those questions in the comment section below. As long as you did that, I put your name on a magic wheel. I spun that bad boy 2 times. The 2 names it landed on, they had their choice of the digital codes that you see on your screen before you today. And I was actually very surprised. The most common answer for this week was actually 300. 300 had the most votes for the most popular historical epic, and I kind of agree. It's not my personal favorite, but the artistic style in 300 is outstanding. It's probably still Zack Snyder's best movie, and he's made a lot of good movies with his very distinct style on him, and I think it worked probably best with the film 300. He really nailed it there. I wish the sequel would have lived up to what the first one did, but you know, at least we still will have 300. As far as Robert Downey Jr. movies go, Iron Man was the most popular, but surprisingly, I think it was pretty even if more people preferred the original Iron Man or they preferred his performance in Avengers Endgame, which I think that was probably the better of the 2 performances because he really did bring the emotional punch.
And I am Iron Man.
And that movie wouldn't hit as hard if it wasn't for him, you know, and I Love You 3000. I mean, that stuff will bring tears to your eyes, and that really is the power of Robert Downey Jr. And I do feel like the MCU hasn't really fully recovered since Avengers Endgame, and I feel like they're definitely missing Robert Downey Jr. in the MCU. But anyway, enough of me rambling on. Let's spin this magic wheel and see who our 2 lucky winners are. All right, first wheel spin coming up. Razzle dazzle. Razzle, we're going to remove your name. Spin again. And John Ducharme. Razzle Dazzle and John Ducharme. Man, Thomas Anderson, that wheel really hates you. I don't understand why. Luckily, we made that up for him last week because he did kind of get screwed over. So Mr. Anderson did get himself a digital code. But man, that wheel just will never land on you. I do not understand what its reasoning is for always skipping you for some reason. I don't know. The wheel has a mind of its own and I cannot figure it out. I try and change the times on it and everything, but the wheel likes who the wheel likes, and this week it was Razzle Dazzle and John Ducharme. You guys know how this works. I believe that this is John Ducharme's second win. I know Razzle has won in the past. He's been playing along for a very long time. So you guys know how to reach out to me. Always reach out at our email address of letstalkentmt@gmail.com, or you could always reach us at Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. Just direct message me there. Let me know which of the digital codes you want. As long as the other winner doesn't take them, the choice is all yours. And anyway, guys, we had a lot of new names on the wheel. Feel free to come back to this Friday's video. We do this every single week, and I'm just so thankful that you guys play along with us. We get a lot of great recommendations in the comment section, get a lot of great conversations going, and that's really what the digital code giveaway is all about, is just, you know, talking with you guys in the comment section. For anyone who hasn't noticed yet, we will be doing our first watch along this Thursday at 7 p.m. Eastern time. Looks like right now the Terminator is winning, but you can vote on what you would like for us to watch on Thursday. The poll will still be open through tomorrow, so right now your options are Batman Begins, The Terminator, RoboCop, and Jason Lives. So you got 4 options right now. Terminator looks like it's running away with it, but Batman Begins isn't that far behind, and we'll be doing that this Thursday. We also have plenty of videos coming out for you this week. We're going to have me and Shamrock Balls, or David, whatever you guys want to call him. We're going to have our conversation podcast, the Let's Talk podcast, where we'll be talking about Jaws 1 and Jaws 2. That should be out tomorrow. I'm going to have a Haunted Mansion review this week. I'll have reviews for One False Move and Needful Things, and hopefully, as long as it shows up this week, To Live and Die in LA. I've been waiting for that 4K since last Tuesday when it was supposed to show up, but for some reason it got delayed. Still haven't gotten it. Hopefully it comes out this week, and then more than likely that'll be this Saturday's video. There will be no live show this Saturday. We're going to be taking a week off, but again, we'll have the movie watch along this Thursday. I'm also going to be shooting today my entire movie collection video, so that'll be coming out in the next few weeks once I finish editing that. So we got a lot coming up here on the channel, and make sure you're subscribed. Make sure you like this video if that's the best way to help this channel out so we can keep making awesome 4K Blu-ray reviews, movie reviews, podcasts, and shorts for you. So make sure you hit that subscribe button and come on back, and make sure after you're done doing all of that, you get out in those streets and tell all your friends about us. We'll be seeing you around.